Welcome back to the Investing Circle, where we talk all things financial freedom and how to make your money work for you. Today we're talking about where to keep your savings, including your emergency fund. Now remember, having a healthy savings account is important, but where you keep that money matters a lot too. We'll explain the best place for your savings in this video today. That money we're talking about is typically your emergency fund, there to protect you from any manner of financial calamities, including home and car repairs, medical and dental bills, and a period of unemployment. As such, that money needs to be safe, liquid, and easily accessible when you need it. But for some people, their savings account can contain thousands of dollars. And we always want all of our money to work as hard for us as possible. Is a savings account the best place for that? In most cases, it's not. But again, we're talking about the quick, easy, liquid money. Consider inflation here. A savings account is essentially a very safe place to keep your money. Nearly all savings accounts are FDIC insured for up to $250,000 per account. So if the bank your account is at were robbed of all its money or were to fail, the federal government would reimburse your loss. So a savings account is a much safer place for your money than the proverbial under the mattress hiding spot where it could be stolen or destroyed by a fire or flood. But there is another danger to your money that savings accounts don't protect you from. That's inflation. Inflation is the sustained and broad rise in the prices of goods and services over time, which erodes purchasing power. Inflation has been in the news recently a lot because it's higher than it has been in decades, currently sitting over 8.5%. Only 2 years ago, in July 2020, the inflation rate was just 0.99%. Over roughly the last 30 years, the average inflation rate was 3.8%. If we play with an inflation calculator, which is going to be in the description below, we can see that because of that inflation, what cost $1 in 2020 would cost us $1.14 now. Now let's look at the average interest rate you'll get on a savings account. It's a very meager 0.13%. That is linked in the description below. To put that into simple perspective, if you put a single dollar into a savings account, it would take 10 years to earn 1 penny in interest. These numbers are why investing your money is so important and why we dedicate this channel and this site to it. If you want to grow your wealth, you've got to invest your money. Your money is actually losing value thanks to inflation year after year when it's just sitting in a savings account, while in the long term you can expect to earn much more in the stock market, real estate, or any of the other things that we talk about here. Over the last decade, the S&P 500's average annual returns were at 14.7%, and the long-term historical average is 10.7% since the benchmark was introduced in 1957. But it's not recommended to invest your short-term savings. The positive returns from the stock market are long-term. In a given month, quarter, or year, the returns could be smaller or there could be losses, which is a very key point as we're talking through this. And money invested in the stock market is not necessarily fully liquid. To gain access to invested money, you have to sell the stock, which could be a gain or a loss. Getting the cash can take a few business days or longer. So what can you do? That's exactly where high yield savings accounts come into play. You've got to have some kind of liquidity. A high yield savings account, or HYSA, is a type of savings account that pays a better interest rate than a standard savings account, generally 20 to 25 times higher than a typical savings account. Citizen Savings, which is linked in the description below, for example, is offering an annual percentage yield APY of 2.1% with a minimum balance of $5,000. I personally use YATA, my referral link in the description below, and Ally, which is currently at 2% APY. If we compare that rate to the average rate of 0.13%, which earned us 1 cent in 10 years, our dollar in a Citizens account or an Ally account would earn 23 cents. Okay, so nothing to write home about, but HYSAs allow your money to work harder for you than traditional savings account. And we're talking about more than just $1 accruing interest. Not all HYSAs have a minimum balance requirement, and many don't charge fees, so consider those things when you're looking for the best account for your needs. And keep in mind that online banks may offer the best APYs. Online banks don't have as much overhead as brick and mortar banks, no branches, no tellers, and decent customer support. They can pass some of those savings onto their customers in the form of higher APY rates. And online checking and savings accounts have the same FDIC security as those in the brick and mortar banks. Credit unions often pay higher interest rates on customer accounts than traditional banks too. In conclusion, the worst place for your savings account is under the mattress. The second worst place is a traditional savings account paying well below that 1% interest. So the place for your savings and emergency fund is a high yield savings account if you want to make sure that you can get access to your money quickly and of course have a decent amount of interest compared to your typical checking or savings account. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you like this video, please like it and of course subscribe to the rest of our content. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below.